Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Rama, Shri Ram. Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Rama, Shri Ram. Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Rama, Jai Ram. Sakha bachan suni harishe, Rama kripa sindhu bhalsir. Sakha bachan suni harishe, Rama kripa sindhu bhalsir. कारण कावन बसहु बन, रामा मोहि काहु सुग्रीव सिया। बजुराम चंद्र जी की जय शरणम, शंकर हरि ओम जय जय Shri Ram. Shri Ram speaks to Sugriva and he says, Saka bachan suni harishe, kripa sindhu balsiv. Karan kavana basu ban mohi kahahu Sugriv. O Sugriv, please tell me mohi kahahu hai. Speak to me, O Sugriv. Please tell me. I'm very curious to know why. Karan means the purpose, the cause. What is the cause? Kavana bahu ban. Why are you residing here then? Why have you made your abode here? Why have you made your place of dwelling here? Why have you made this your place of residence in this forest regions? Why are you here, Sugriva? Sugriva is hiding and he's not in the kingdom of Kiskindha. He's outside the kingdom of Kiskindha. And Shri Ram wants to know, why has he made his place of dwelling, his home there? So a question for us then, in this Doha, as everything in Ramayana teaches us something, this will deal about our place of residence. Question is, why do we live where we live? What's the purpose? I'll show you my reason as to why we moved here. The wife looked at me very quickly. My purpose of moving here, my mom is here too, so she'll hear for the first time. Because when I became a pundit 23, 24 years ago, however long, living in Bayonne, close to Jersey City, I found everyone was too close. Everyone was too close in the sense, if I can, excuse me for saying it this way, I'll just speak very bluntly. Everyone liked to mind your business, right? And living the life of a pundit, I said, you know what? If anybody has to come to our home, it must be a special visit. Because everybody likes to look in somebody else's backyard instead of looking at their own, right? They don't look at themselves, right? That reminds me of a quick little piece I'll share with you. The person goes to the Pandit. Pandit, could you read for me? Read book for me. Panchang. We say Patra, Panchang. Can you read the Panchang for me? So the Pandit said, here now, do this. Here's this palm leaf. Take this palm leaf home and come back. Come back in 3 days' time. And take some dirt from your yard and put it on the palm leaf and bring it. And when you bring it, I'll tell you everything that's going on. So the person said, okay. Took the palm leaf, he went. So he kept the palm leaf, I guess, in his car or whatever. And it's 3 days now have elapsed and he has to go back to the Pandit. So he's driving to the Pandit, he gets out of the car, if you will. He sees the palm leaf, he says, oh shucks, I forgot the dirt. You know, Baba wouldn't know. He went to Baba's yard, Pandit's yard, and took some dirt from his yard and put it on the palm leaf. Pandit wouldn't know, Babaji wouldn't know. So he took the palm leaf to the Pandit. The Pandit took the palm leaf and said, oh Bhaiya, you have so much problems and so much difficulties. You have grah, you have so much puja you need to do. You have so many things going wrong in your life. So the person said, Baba, that's not my dirt, you know. That's your dirt. It's from your yard. Take it. You have the puja to do. I don't have the puja to do. Point is, we like to look at other people, but we don't want to look at ourselves going on in our own yard. So because of that, I had made the decision with the wife, let's try and move out of the community so people can somewhat have some respect, if you will. Right? So anyone who had to come here, it had to be a special visit, if you will. Right? Because people don't think Pandit wears pants and shirt. They think Pandit only wears dhoti and kurta. But Pandit in this community and society has to work to pay bills. And there's never one day I've depended on my Panditai money to pay any bills. I'll use that for music, I'll use that for books, I'll use it for something else. But never one day will I depend on it for that. But that's my personal thing. But that's my reason, one of my reasons for moving out of that community. And we've been living here now 14 years, 15 years, 15 years. We're living here now. So that's why we moved here. Why are you living where you're living? Some people want to be alone. Right? Some want people to be alone, to be away from everyone else. Other people, they may want to have their place of residence because, you know what? It's all that they can afford. This is all I can afford. It's close to my job. There's many different reasons as to why. But one thing I want to tell you is that irregardless of where you live, in the community and society you live at or in, always maintain your home as a godly place. I go to people's home and I see their altar. They have their altar and they have it's in a cabinet now and it's all locked up. One time to puja, they open it up. You don't close God in your life. And when you need Him, you open up the doors. You keep God open in your life. Someone came here years ago. I think they told the wife, why you have all these murtis all over the place? Right? It's not good when people come here. So then we asked the person a question. When you come in this home, do you not feel spiritual? The person said yes. I said, well, then we have accomplished the task. Because anytime you come in this home, I want you to feel spiritual. I want you to feel a sense of godliness. And that is why in your home, God must be all over. Have murtis of God and have pictures of God all over. But because we sometimes live our life in a different manner with certain things that we do and we eat and intake as well, we want to keep God away. Don't you think God's still seeing what's going on and God knows? God knows. But keep God in your life, devotees. And wherever you live, have a godly place of worship. Have a home filled with dharma, with righteousness. And you as mother and as father have to set the example in that home for the children. Because if you do not set the example for the children will never learn. They will never follow. One thing I've learned from the summer camp that we've done, the summer retreat for 11 years now, every year we've done that summer camp, is that as we teach the children, many of the parents don't know, but they don't want to admit that they don't know. So because we knowing that, we said next year we're changing up this whole routine, we're going to have a family retreat as well. So mothers and fathers together with the children can learn, right? We have to set the example in our home and never let your society change who you are, right? Never let society change who you are. So if you're in a society, especially children, and when you go to school, don't let people change who you are because other children speak a certain way, because they act a certain way that's bad with the words that they say and the actions that they do, don't mean that you have to do it too. Right? And for the boys, just because the other boys wearing their pants below the knees, right? Don't mean you have to wear your pants below your knees neither, right? Pants on the ground, pants on the ground. You're looking like a fool with your pants on the ground. Remember that, right? Why? Dress appropriately. Understand? Dress properly. Speak well. Do that which you know is right. Don't ever let society and community change you. Instead, you be that light to show other people the right things in life. Understand? Sugriva has made his place of residence, if you will, there because he is trying to avoid any problems with his family, with his brother. And sometimes we move and we live a certain way or we live a certain lifestyle so that we can avoid having a problem with someone else, be it family or friends as well. So Sugriva devotees will answer this question of the Lord. And you know what? Let me just share this with you, because I'm jumping a good few chopais. Sugriva speaks to the Lord. He says, Bhagwan, in order for me to answer this question, let me tell you about my birth. Who is my mother? Who is my father? And all of this. And it says that one time, Brahma Bhagwan, he was cleaning his eyes. And you know that little muck in the eye corner? He threw it down. All this is in the chaupai. And as it came down to this world, Vanar ek pragatita hoi chanchala bahu biranchi bal sohi. A kapi, if you will, a Vanar was manifested from that. And he was chanchal, jumping all over the place. And this Vanar happened to go by this well, by this kund. Richraj chaha biranchihi mahavir balavan nischar pavatihi hanai shirame tiname pashan. The monkey looks in the well, and he sees another monkey. And as he's looking and looking, if you will, he starts to roar and make some noise. Garj kare, make some noise. And he hears the monkey also making noise. So he figuring it's another monkey wanted to fight, he jumps into the well. And as he jumps into this well, somehow he was transferred, if you will. The rich Raj was transformed to a great devotee, if you will. He came out of it's as though the person went and was being cleansed by God. We should go and always learn to snan kare, cleanse ourselves. And as this Vanar came out, if you will, the life that the Vanar lived was very religious and righteous, if you will. That Indra anchate balibha mahavir bhaladham dinakar sut dusura bhayo tehi sugriva sunam siya bhaju Ram Chandra ji ki jai sharanam prabhu. Such a great devotee that Lord Indra ji from up above blessed her, and the blessings went to her and blessed her so that she would have a child that is Bal, that will be very powerful and strong. And Mahavir Bhaladham, who will be very powerful and strong. And this child name was given as Bali, right? And at the same time, Dinakara Sutta Dusura Bhayo Ravi, Surish Narayan also blessed her so that she will have a knowledgeable child. And as a result, Dinakara Sutta Dusura Bhayo, a second child was born to this Vanar, Tehi Sugriva Sunam, and the name was Sugriv. So one brother, very powerful, but the other one very intelligent, if you will. And Shri Raam is being told the entire Katha, the birth of Bali and Sugriv. And Sugriv continues now to answer this question. Sugriva says the following words to the Lord. Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Ram, Sita Ram, Jai Rama,
Jai Rama,
Jai Sita Ram, Jai Sita Ram,
Jai Sita Ram, Jai Sita Ram,
Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Rama,
Jai Rama,
Bolo Jai Jai Ram, Sita Ram, Jai Rama,
Jai Rama,
Jai Sita Ram, Jai Sita Ram,
Jai Sita Ram, Jai Sita Ram,
Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Rama,
Jai Rama,
Jai Jai Ram, Sita Ram, Jai Rama,
Jai Rama, Jai Sita Ram, Jai Sita Ram, Jai Sita Ram, Jai Sita Ram,
नाति बाल और मैं दो भाई जय रामा,
O Jai Rama,
प्रीतर ही कछुवर निन जाई जय रामा,
O Jai Rama,
नात बाल और मैं दो भाई जय रामा,
O Jai Rama,
प्रीतर ही कछुवर निन जाई जय रामा,
O Jai Rama,
माया सुत माया वीराऊ, माया सुत माया वीनाऊ, आवासो प्रभु हमारे घर आओ, जय जय राम सीता राम,
Jai Rama, Jai Rama,
बोलो जय जय राम
Sita Ram, Jai Rama, Jai Rama,
जय सीता राम, जय सीता राम,
Jai Sita Ram, Jai Sita Ram,
ओम नाथ भाली और मैं दो भाई, प्रीति रही कछुवर मीन जाई, नाथ भाली और मैं दो रही कछु वरनी न जाई। माया सुत हो, माया सुत मायावी तही नाऊ, आवासो प्रभु हमरे गणावो, आवासो प्रभु हमरे गणावो। बोलो जय जय राम सीताराम जय जय राम, बोलो जय जय राम सीताराम जय जय राम, बोलो श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, बोलो जय जय राम सीताराम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। Sugriva speaks to the Lord and he says, not, O Shri Ram, Bali और मैं दो भाई, we are two brothers living. And Preeti Rahi Kachu Varani na Jai. Preeti Rahi, the love that we have for each other, or had for each other, Kuch Varani na Jai. No one could ever speak or ever even describe the amount of love that we have for each other, if you will. But he says, Shri Ram, Prabhuji, but, O Lord, one day, Maya Sutta Mayavi Tehi Nau, Avaso Prabhu Hamare Garao, that this demon came into our village, into our kingdom. And by this demon coming into this kingdom, it caused problems between me and my brother. Sugriva will continue to describe what happened, and we'll go through that as the weeks to come. But Sugriva is saying, Bhagavan, my brother and I, we grew together. We played together, we ate together, we laughed together, we loved each other so much that it was beyond words. No one could describe the love that has been present there. But because of one day, this demon came into our home, into our village, into our kingdom. This has caused problems ever since then. And because of that, O Lord, because I don't want to have any problems with my bhaiya, with my brother, I've chose to make my place of residence here. And that's the answer he gives. Devotees, we live with our family. We live with our husbands, our wives, our children, our parents, as the case may be, grandparents or so. We live together in our home. And we should live together in love and in unity in our home. If we allow any demon to come into our home, if we allow evil to come into our home, and let's take it a step further, if we allow it to enter our mind, if we allow that negativity to enter our hearts and our souls, it will cause problems. So never allow any rakshas, never allow any evil to come into our home and our mind. You know, and I remember something I'll share with you with Socrates. Socrates was sitting down, and an acquaintance comes to him and he says, Socrates, I have something to tell you about your friend. I heard something about your friend. Socrates says, what do you have to tell me about my friend? My friend and I are living so well together. What do you have to tell me about my friend? Socrates says, before I listen to what you have to tell me about my friend to cause a problem, let me give you this triple filter test, he called it. If you can answer these 3 questions and you pass these 3 questions, I will listen to what you have to say about my friend. He says, the thing that you have to tell me about my friend, is this something good about my friend? The person speaks to Socrates and says, no, something really bad happened. I want to tell you something that happened. So Socrates says, you want to tell me something about my friend, but you want to tell me something bad about him. He says, all right. Second question Socrates asked. He says, the thing that you have to tell me about my friend, is it something that will, if you will, help me? So the person says, no, but it's something that you should really know. Socrates then says, the thing you have to tell me about my friend, do you know if it's 100% true? Or Socrates, I heard it from this other person, My friend told me. So when my friend told me, I said, let me come and tell you right away, because I know that's your friend. So Socrates says, you want to tell me something bad about my friend. You want to tell me something that wouldn't benefit me about my friend. And you want to tell me something that you don't know it's 100% true about my friend. He says, look, chap, go from here. I don't want to listen to anything you have to say. So Socrates, in that little kisa, if you will, did not allow someone else to come into his life to speak something negative about someone he cared about. And in life, we have to have these type of filter tests in our life. So when people come, as they will come into our lives, into our homes, into our society and community, we should go through certain filters with them. You understand? Don't allow negativity to enter your mind, your heart, and your soul, and especially your home, if you will. Because inside of our home, we have to live well with each other. And we have the responsibility of trying to understand our family well. That's one of the things we have to do. Try as best as you can to understand your family. So husband, try and understand your wife. Wife, try and understand your husband. Mother, try and understand your children. Father, try and understand your children. Children, try and understand your parents. And you can continue like that. We have to have an understanding of our family. So it's not only parents coming down, it's going up as well. Children to parents, parents to children, and all over. All right? We have to understand our family. And not only that, when we understand, we must also have something else in our family. We must have respect in our family. Right? Children, respect your mother. Children, respect your father, if you will. Mother and father as well. Have respect for your children too, because they're growing up and they're going through certain things in life. That does not mean, children, that you have the right to do any and anything you want to do as well. You have to listen to guidance from mother and father, both alike, if you will. Respect must be there. And as parents, never discriminate amongst your children, and children, never discriminate with parents, and never discriminate amongst yourselves as brothers and sisters as well. Because this is how we can have a good family life. And having a good family life, if you will, it means that we must also do something else. And that something else is that we must learn to compromise. Because mommy wants to do one thing, daddy wants to do one thing, children want to do one thing. Let's all meet together, let's sit, converse, and let's compromise. Children, mother and father have the last word. They're the king and queen of the home. We have to listen to them. It doesn't mean children do not have a right to voice an opinion or so, because they are human beings too and they have feelings. But we must learn to compromise, if you will. That's important. And the other thing we must learn to do is help each other in our family. If we don't help each other to uplift ourselves, what will happen? One is going up and up and up, and the other one is just falling. Well, help the other one as well, so that they don't fall. But when the help is being given to you, take it. Because if you don't take it, then I'm sorry, but you ask for it. Right? It's not that nobody don't want to help you, but you're not taking the help that is being given to you. Understand? But family must be there to help each other, if you will. And family must try and do things to bring happiness into the lives of others. Do a surprise birthday party, you understand? Make a special cake or something, or do something like that. You understand? Be there for your family. Do good things, nice things for your family, if you will. Right? And we must understand that sometimes, in Ayodhya, do you remember when Kaikeyi wanted to ask for those two boons? That the two boons, one, Shri Raam must go to Vanvas, and second, Bharat must be crowned king. Do you know where she was? She was in a particular room in the kingdom of Ayodhya. And in ancient times, every room was given a name. And if you were inside that room, everyone knows what was happening. So this room would be the happy room. If you're happy, you go in there. If you have a problem, you go in the problem room. Right? If you want to cook, you go in the cooking room. You want to eat, you go in the eating room. You want to live, I guess you go in the living room. Right? But every room had a name. So Kaikeyi was in the room of sadness, if you will, right? the room where worries would take place. So when King Dashrath came and he heard that Kaikeyi was in that room, he wanted to know what happened right away. Why is she there? Right? Likewise, we as a family must understand that sometimes the other family member may have a problem. And sometimes they go in their room too. Right? And they may sometimes want to be alone as well. Right? And sometimes we must give them space to go through their things that they have to go through in life. But you can't have so much space. You have to communicate with your family member at some point of time and discuss what is going on as well, right? And the other thing is that when we give our word to our family member and to anyone alike, keep your word. We live on our word. Dashrath died for his word, if you will. Understand? Keep your promises that you made. I made my son a promise I will give him something before school starts, and I kept my promise. And I know you didn't think I was going to keep that promise, but the day before school I gave you what I promised you, right? Even though it was weeks later, because we have to keep our word and our promise, if you will. And anytime you make a mistake in your home, anytime you do something wrong, as I've always preached before, always go and ask for forgiveness and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I have done, right? Sometimes you know you're wrong and you don't want to admit it. Be the bigger person and admit when you have done something wrong. These are the things that we can do, devotees, to help our family to grow and to live good with each other, right? And if we can live in our home and society in this manner, right, then devotees, then we can be happy. But the day that we allow some negativity or some evil to come into that home, then what will happen? Happiness will go. So we have to maintain our home, maintain our state of happiness. Family is family, and always be there for your family. Have respect for your family. I'll close my kata. But the thing is, many times also family have problems with each other. I'll share an advice I always give. If you and your family member have a problem with each other, try and work it out. If for some reason you feel you cannot work it out, right, never close the gap of communication with your family. Because family is family. If they can't say Sita Ram, when you meet them, you go and you say Sita Ram. You understand? If they can't ask you how you doing, you go and say auntie, uncle, or mommy, daddy, or bhaiya, didi, uncle, or whatever the case is. How are you doing? Is everything okay with you? Is everything going well? Never close the bond of communication, because the moment you close the bond of communication, then that entire relationship is done. It's very hard to bring back or resurrect, if you will. All right? So try your best, devotees, to live well in your home. We all live where we live for various reasons, but don't let any negativity come in our home, and maintain a home that is godly, that is righteous. And today I share with you of some of the things that we should do to maintain our home and live in our home happily. Sugriva is facing some problems in his home, in his kingdom, if you will, and because of that, he has his problems, and now he's telling the Lord his problems. We'll continue for the next Sunday session to see what happens next, right? And many times we must learn to be together in unity. There was a flock of birds, and there's a hunter want to catch birds. You know, like what they have a cast net back home, and they go and fish with it. Right? It's a quick thing, right? You just throw the cast net, you catch all the fish one time, right? So in the same manner, this hunter wanted to catch birds. He takes his net and he throws it amongst all of these birds he saw. And the net was keeping the birds down. But all the birds, for some reason or the other, they communicated with each other, and they all started to flap their wings. And as they all started to flap their wings, all the birds started to fly up with the net. And as they all flew up with the net, they all flew by a tree and flew under the tree. And you know what happened to the net? It stayed on the tree, and all the birds flew out, and they continued going along their way. That would have never happened if they didn't work together. So as family, we must work together, if you will. I'll close in singing beautiful old song of yesterday, if you will. In prosperity, when we're all happy, everyone is our friend. But when we're in sadness, we know the rest, right? Sukh ke sab saathi, dukh mein na koi. Sukh ke sab saathi, dukh mein na koi. See, this is what Sugriva is thinking. Bhagwan, when you're happy, everyone wants to be your friend, but when you're facing problems and difficulties, whether it be amongst your family members, who is really there for you? This is when you'll know who is your true friend, because when you're facing problems, no one wants to be there, only the chosen few. But who will be there for you? Who will come to you to help you in your problems? The Lord. That's why it says, Mere Ram, Tera naam ek sacha, dusra na koi. There's nothing second to the Lord, if you will. Therefore, as you face your problems, as we all will, call the name of God in your life. Let God come to you and help you in your home, in your society, and in your community. So, Sukh ke sab saathi, dukh mein na koi. Mere Ram, tera naam ek sacha, दूजा न कोई. सुख के सब साथी, दुख में न कोई. ओम जीवनानि जानी छाया, जीवनानि जानी छाया, ज्योति माया ज्योति काया. फिर काहे को सारी उमरिया, सारी उमरिया पाप के घटरी धोई. सुख के सब साथी, दुख में न कोई. मेरे राम तेरा नाम एक साचा, दूजा न ओम. ना कुछ तेरा ना कुछ मेरा, ना कुछ तेरा ना कुछ मेरा. ये जग जोगी वाला फेरा, राजा हो या रंग सभी का, राजा हो या रंग सभी का, अंत एक सहोई. सुख के सब साथी, दुख में न कोई. मेरे राम तेरा नाम एक साचा, दूजा न कोई. सुख के सब साथी, दुख एक भवे सियावर रामचंद्र के जय।